Hey there, it's SebFrey here with yet another exciting episode of It's a Seb Show. And today I want to talk about my least favorite thing about the real estate business. And actually, I think it's probably the least favorite thing for all of my clients as well. Are you ready for it? Here it goes. The least favorite thing I have about real estate, and I think that everybody has about real estate, is the uncertainty. There's nothing really very certain about it. The mind, the brain, the mind likes to have like certainty. It likes to put things into boxes and be able to like know what exactly is going to happen. And when you don't know what exactly is going to happen, you feel uncomfortable. You feel at ease. You feel unsure of just what exactly to do because it's not certain what's going to happen if you do X, Y, or Z. So one of the classic examples that we have in today's real estate market is how much is that home going to sell for exactly, right? So when you have so many homes which are, getting 10, 20, 30 offers and they're selling just like way above the comparable sales, like how do you know how much you have to bid to get that property or even if you should bother bidding to get that property because you just don't know what everyone else is going to do, how many other people are going to be offering on it, and what they will pay. It's very vexing. It's very frustrating to even know how to proceed in any way, shape, or form when that is what's going on, when it's totally, totally uncertain. I have many stories I could share with you around this fact from a client perspective, but from an agent perspective, it puts me in a very uncomfortable place because I can't really guide them with any kind of like specific information that's going to really help them to answer that question. What I can do is I can, run the market data. I can show them what the market is doing in terms of numbers, but that's past performance. And I can even show you the trend. But of course, things happen above the trend line, at the trend line, below the trend line, and there is just really no way to know with any high degree of certainty what one particular segment of the market is going to do with one particular property at any one point in time. There's just no way to know, which is why I give my clients this very like not great advice. Well, actually, I think it is great advice because it's hard won advice, right? It's hard won advice, but a lot of clients aren't really thrilled to hear it because they're looking for like a specific number, and that is you should offer as much for that property as it is worth to you. That's it. You offer as much as it is worth to you. And then if you see that it sells for more than it's worth to you, well, then just know that that property wasn't for you. But bum. And that's like the best advice. And it's, like, it's not exciting advice, right? It's not like, earth shattering advice, but it is, in fact, the best advice. Offer as much as that property is worth to you. And if it sells for more than that, then just wasn't meant to be. But what's really sad is when you calculate what you think that the sale price is likely to be, and you offer just a little bit more, but you would have paid a lot more for the property had you known, right? But you let it get away because you miscalculated and you made an offer that really wasn't what you felt the property was worth to you, that you would have paid for it, and then you have to live with that regret. So that is really unfortunate. Now, I talked a little bit ago about how I, like run the numbers and tell people like, people are paying, this kind of money for these kind of properties and like the market is headed in this direction and, all of that. But at the end of the day, I can't really give anybody any kind of, specific number that they need to come in at. And if I had to give a specific number, like, hey, this number will absolutely get you the property, that number would probably be in this market really, really, really high, which couldn't be justified by any comps or any appraiser. So it's very hard to go ahead and say, yeah, you need to be way, way ahead of everybody else. Because of course, the reality is that many buyers can't be way, way ahead of everybody else. When you have 30 offers on a property, there can be 29 people who are losers, right? There's going to be one winner, and you have to be extremely well qualified to be that one out of 30 people who's going to be able to get that property. But what I try to do for my clients, because the mind likes certainty, is I will try to frame it as best I can in terms of like a probability, right? That's it. I'll say, listen, if you do X, I think you might have like a 95% chance of at least getting a counter offer. But if you do Y, I think you might only get like a 50% chance or a 0% chance of getting a counter offer. So I always try and break it down for my clients at least as best I can in terms of the probability as I feel that is, appropriate. And of course, where does that probability come from? Do I have any kind of like statistical data that I can use to show that? Well, in some cases I do, but a lot of the cases, my feeling about the probability of something being likely to happen comes from one source and one source only, and that is 18 years in the real estate business, 18 years of being in the situation and seeing what's going on, from talking to my colleagues, from looking at the data. It really comes down to, in a lot of cases, just your gut. And you get your gut well from a lot of pizza, but you also get your gut from a lot of experience in the business. And that really is, and many times, the best I can really offer for my clients is what my gut is telling me. And like my clients have what their gut is telling me. We can't, we have to value that because they are the client, but if they're asking me what I think, a lot of the times it really just has to come from my gut, supplemented, of course, by, like market data, market figures, market trends, like anecdotal evidence and experiences that I've had. And it drives me bonkers, and it drives my clients bonkers, just not having that kind of certainty. And, there really never is that kind of certainty. And there hasn't been really in all the 18 years. I mean, like there's been times when the market is like more easy to like wrap your head around than it is right now, for sure. But it's never been like, a sure thing, a slam dunk, right? I mean, like there always is something of that uncertain element to it. And that's kind of what makes the real estate business just so darn fun. Never a dull moment, except when you're grinding out, like, if you're really a high producing person, a high producing agent, there is a lot of grind to it, a lot of running around, a lot of paperwork, a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages, kind of is like a 24/7 lifestyle almost. But anyway, that's not the part that really bugs me about real estate so much. Really, it's just like, you just can never know. You never know for sure. And that is just something that a lot of minds like my own have difficulty in coping with a lot of the time. All right. Well, if you are going through something similar, listen, been there, done that. It is hard, like buck up, like it's a journey. Home ownership is not a destination, right? I mean, like it's a journey. Even once you get your home, it's still going to be going on, right? I mean, like, your home value will go up, it may go down. I mean, like this whole thing that, we want certainty and permanence, right? I mean, like everything is just fleeting. It's a dynamic world. You got to embrace change or be swept aside. That's what I've been saying for many, many years. So if you're in that process, my heart goes out to you. And hey, if you want to talk about it, like how you can, best work with today's real estate market, go ahead, give me a call. I'd love to talk with you. You can just shoot me a message on Messenger or a text message to 408-548-7348. I'd love to just have a chat with you via voice or text or whatever. All right, that wraps up this episode of SebFrey TV. But do me a favor, would you give me a comment? I'd love a comment, or even a thumbs up would be like terrific. Or even if you would share this with somebody, I would really love that too. And guess what? You could also subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be super fantastic as well. All right, that is it for this episode of It's a Seb Show. But don't worry, it's okay. I'll have another episode up again before too long.